Morning. Coming at you from the van of plenty. So yeah, I want to talk to you this morning about climate change. Or was it geoengineering? Wait. Or was it global warming? I don't know, they keep changing the terms so much. You know, I hear that back in the 70s, they were trying to educate people against global cooling. And then the news about the ozone depletion came out. And la-da-da-da-da. Here we are in 2019, California. And they put out there was an article in the paper this year that said that by 2045 in California, they're going to phase out, in fact, do completely away with fossil fuels they're going to do away with all fossil fuels to power the state. And I think by 2028, all new homes had to be that as well. And I hear that just this coming year in 2020 that they're gonna, all the newly stamped as far as the house plans, the newly stamped plans are gonna need to be solar as well. Now, people's main beef with that is that they don't get a choice. People want to be able to have a choice, and that makes them feel like they have freedom, even though PG&E runs it all. You know, PG&E demands that people get PG&E demands that people also have a curb connection, so that I don't know what, so that they can get some of the pie. I don't get it, but yeah. As far as the weather and whether or not the Earth is warming or cooling, I don't know. According to the the Mayan calendar, or at least the Aztec calendar, which is a little less accurate, that the Earth's the tilt of the Earth's axis just happened. So, on a 21,000-year cycle, that's pretty slow. So perhaps we're a little closer to the sun than normal. But they still spray things out of planes all the time. And we're in a state where everything, even pieces of wood, have a Proposition 65 warning trying to say that if you inhale it, it can cause cancer. I'm sure if you inhale dirt for long enough, it probably cause cancer. But, so that said, these people who are supposedly so environmentally minded look up and think nothing about airplanes constantly and consistently blowing out vapor. Not just vapor, but things that stay hanging in the air and compromise the sunlight. They compromise the sunlight so much that crops are late and seasons are late, and the weather remains cold when it shouldn't. So they're talking about climate change, and they're affecting climate change by what they're doing. Not us, through our cars. Now, I'm not in denial that, Los Angeles has terrible air, and, a lot of places like Thailand have terrible air because of, too many motors going at once, and that's clear. However, I live in a county that they say has the cleanest air in California due to strong prevailing winds that constantly sweep the air. But they constantly lay down these chemtrails contrary to the wind. It's always a 90-degree pattern to what the wind is doing. And on some days, it's really hard not to see that it's coordinated. I called my local municipality about air quality control, and I asked them about the geoengineering, because I'm aware through online research that it's actually contracted work, that there's companies that are out there that supply the planes that spray it, radar planes to monitor the action, and they actually have computer models that you can turn loose to the local news outlets so that they can play the results. So it just goes to show that if you've got the money, you can play God. You can buy the weather and own it, make it happen, and make everyone believe it. And you can pay the media to tell everybody that, hey, it's 50 degrees when you know darn well it's 41 outside. And as long as Siri tells them that that's what the temperature is, they believe it. I've been standing outside in the rain next to somebody who had a phone in their hand, and they tell me it's not raining because Siri says it's not raining. There's a serious cognitive dissonance. I'm sorry, dissonance. I am being the cognitive dissident. There's a difference. Cognitive dissonance. Dissonance meaning bad sound. And you're not, what you're seeing is not what you think. And cognitive dissidence, a dissident is someone who disagrees. So I disagree with the programming, the mental programming. At any rate, just like when they had Fukushima back in 2011, a friend of mine said, well, what doesn't kill you is an adaptogen. And that's the approach I'm going to take. Whatever aluminum, barium, strontium, etc. they're blowing out of the atmosphere, what can I do about it? That's everyone's attitude about it. They're even offended that you bring it up if they can't do anything about it. But yeah, we're gonna work with it. We're gonna strategically plant our crops, cover them when we need to, and just roll with it. What can I do? I can't go moving all the way around the country. I can get the same amount of isolation and ostracism in any community. So I'm not for throwing your garbage, and I'm not for destroying the land, ripping it up, but I'm also not accepting their dogma. I'm a little like that Indian back in the 70s who they see every time somebody threw a piece of trash, he'd shed a tear. But like the Lord Jesus says, that he's going to return to make things right, and among his beefs are are destroying the earth. So we want to be stewards. We want to read about what our local natives did back in the time when they were running things, and try to relearn and pick up any of their information that's been lost or thrown away, because they knew what to do. We can all make a land of plenty in our hearts, and that's kind of what it is for me. Even if I lost my land, I would still call my channel Land of Plenty, because that fertile soil's in my heart. God bless you.